This is NewsBreak 26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. New Brunswick has lifted all COVID-19 restrictions, including masking, social distancing, capacity limits, and isolation requirements.
Our modeling shows that for those 19 and younger, we've passed the Omicron peak, and we have 66% of our population that is vaccinated and boosted. And our hospitalizations, the modeling for that had showed that we were going to be in the range of 100, which we are. And we always expect cases to go up and some hospitalizations to go up after measures are lifted with each phase. And so we do expect a blip, but that's, again, we are expecting it. And then we're expecting it to go down after that.
Vaccine rollout and testing will continue in the province while New Brunswickers adjust to living with COVID-19, including new guidelines that allow asymptomatic people who test positive to forego isolation altogether.
Those people are encouraged to stay home if they have symptoms, and they're encouraged if they don't have symptoms and they do go to work to wear a mask.
Dr. Russell says that while protective measures are no longer mandatory, she encourages New Brunswickers to continue using what they've learned over the past 2 years of the pandemic when they're in vulnerable settings or in the company of compromised people. She also encourages people to be sensitive to some people's anxiety over restrictions ending.
There are a lot of emotions right now, Vicki, from the range of anger and frustration to fear to people who are relieved. So I think the fact that the mandatory order is lifted does not mean that we are not encouraging all of the different public health measures to continue to be used by individuals. That is something that we really want people to understand is that we do encourage people to continue masking, especially if you're vulnerable, especially if you have somebody in your close contacts who is vulnerable. So, my daughter's she went back to school today after the March break. There's somebody in one of her classrooms that has a chronic illness, and the students in that class are choosing to mask for that reason.
Public health will continue to monitor for new variants of concern, and there's always the possibility that restrictions will return.
Never say never, Vicki. We know that, again, if there are outbreaks with new variants and surges in cases, that we will have to look at this again.
My full interview with Dr. Russell is available on CHCO's Facebook page and in a new episode of Southwest Magazine. A fundraiser for Ukrainian relief will take place in St. George on Tuesday, March 22nd. A Night for Ukraine organized by a group of local volunteers in collaboration with the Multicultural Association of Charlotte County will take place at Macadavic Place from 4:30 to 6:30 and will feature a potluck dinner as well as single-serve lasagna takeout.
We're going to have a 50-50 at the front door that everybody can participate in. We're going to have the silent auction. And we're actually going to have a presentation of what is happening immigration-wise so that people are aware of how they can support and how they can donate. And currently we are looking at donating with the Red Cross because the government is giving dollar for dollar.
St. George Deputy Mayor Barb Rayner said the idea for the fundraiser stemmed from the feeling of helplessness that many of us have felt here in North America, watching tragedy take place in Ukraine and wishing we could do more.
I think we were sitting around with friends talking about the tragedy and all the terrible things that are happening there, and we thought, what can we do? And we brainstormed and we decided that we'd do a supper. That was the easiest thing to do. And we decided also, because of Area 53, it would be nice to involve everybody, not just St. George, but everybody in the new Area 53, the amalgamated group. And we reached out, and we have a group of about seven people. And then we reached out to Joan at the Multicultural Association because we thought she'd know where we should send the money and the best thing to do. And it's grown from there.
If you are able to help by making a dish for the potluck or donating an item for the silent auction, please contact Barb Rayner at 755-2788. We hope to see you there. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.